Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast episode today. My name is Dominique Boone, owner and founder of Leslie's Laundry Care. This is the Black Hall of Fame podcast, and today we have a special guest with us today. His name is Kenneth Groom, owner and founder of Beyond Normal Media Podcast, and one of my friends. Welcome, everybody, Kenneth Groom.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to see you having a podcast. This is
Yes,
awesome. More people
thank
need
you.
to have podcasts as like storytelling platforms, so it's good to see this.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's just start off with what made you want to start your podcast?
So for me, I've been in roles, say for the past like 8 to 10 years that are customer facing. I'm in tech sales, and so there's always like an engagement piece. Like I'm always interacting with people,
Okay.
traveling, doing different things, just meeting and trying different experiences and different cultures and stuff. And so the pandemic shut all that down. And so for me, I was kind of at home, like bouncing off the walls. My wife was like, "You need to do something. Like you got like all this energy." And it's just like, all right, what can I do to stay connected with my network? And so I had the idea. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy a Zoom membership. Zoom was big during the
Yeah.
pandemic, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and start having conversations with people. And I narrowed in on the business owners during the pandemic who were within my network because I was like, there's something interesting happening here where, they're figuring out how to survive the pandemic and all the things that are happening with all the businesses closing. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna just keep doing this. And so one episode, my first episode, which was with you,
Yes.
turned
Absolutely.
into like my first season was like maybe like 25, 26 episodes. And I was like, okay, like let me see what I can grow this into.
Okay. Nice. Yes. And the first episode during the pandemic, you just literally did you reach out on LinkedIn or
So that was my
Yes.
again my sales background. I
Okay.
was just reaching out to different people within my
Okay.
network. If I saw you were a business owner and you were doing something, nine times out of ten, I was doing like cold outreach or like just tapping in with the people that I knew. People were just taking gambles on themselves during that time, and
I
so
love
yeah, I was in that boat though. I was cold outreach. I either did outreach to you on Instagram or LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I was already pretty heavily invested on LinkedIn, so for me it was natural for me to reach out to strangers because I was already doing.
I mean, we gotta talk about it because like LinkedIn is really the plug when it comes to like businesses. And I think more business owners can really leverage LinkedIn if you're trying to do big sales or
Mm-hmm.
just get around the people that are doing what you would like to do, basically. So, like, speak to that, like, how like a quick, I don't know, 20-second spill on what you would say. Because a lot of times on LinkedIn too, you would get those spam DMs
Oh yeah, there's
where,
tons.
but like speak to how you actually get the meeting with people or even for podcasts or just to get around people that are doing like-minded things like yourself.
Yeah, so that's a great question. LinkedIn is amazing. I'm really big on more business owners taking the path of like B2B sales. We talked about that
Yeah.
before, like going the commercial path. And so LinkedIn is where it's at. It really honestly starts with just like general conversations. I think the AI right now, like you get those like spammy
Hmm.
kind of like everything's
Yeah.
generic. So I wouldn't go that route. What I would do is I would go to somebody's profile, do a quick search, and find those folks that I want to connect with. I would see what they're posting on, what their background is, and just a quick note, like an informed note that you're actually trying to connect with them and you've at least looked at their background and it's not AI generated. I'm talking no more than two or three sentences most of the time. It goes a long way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that because that's what I normally do. Like, hey, can I get 15 minutes of your time?
That's
So then
it.
they have to block off 30.
Yeah, I'm big on
And then,
coffee chats.
okay.
And so hey, let's meet for coffee.
Yeah.
In our city, Charlotte, right? Like we have quite a few new up and coming coffee shops, and so like people are out, they're trying to like touch grass is what I call it. They're trying to connect with people again. So just going out, meeting them, and just taking it from there. Like don't overdo it. The AI will start to give you some really like big words and all that stuff. Like, just keep it simple.
Right.
Just have conversations with people that we can tell when it's AI
Yeah,
at
I
this point.
agree. Okay, let's switch topics. So who is Kenneth? And tell a little bit about your background, how you grew up.
So I grew up in a city called New Haven, Connecticut. It has a interesting dynamic because New Haven, Connecticut is known for Yale University, Ivy League, and so it has this image of like it's this really nice place to live. I didn't have that experience growing up,
Okay.
and so I grew up not in the not having all the resources, but I had resources in terms of family. My community around me was strong, and so I grew up in Connecticut. Um, yeah, I had a great life, honestly. Like I'll say that just in terms of like having my support system, both my parents and my life. Doing amazing things. I got to see different things, and I was in a unique position where the place where I was born and raised didn't necessarily like dictate where I was going to end up. And so for me, I always been like a nerd, anime, math nerd, all those types of things. And so I ended up in college in Charlotte, UNC, going to UNC Charlotte, and I majored in mathematics. And so digging into my nerd bag and just like embracing like who I am. And I had to figure out, like where, what my job was going to be. Most people, when they hear math, they'd be like, oh, you want to be a math teacher? No,
Right.
I knew I didn't want to be a teacher. And so I got just some great opportunities. I came to Charlotte at a good time. I came to Charlotte in '06, '07, graduated in 2011. And that was just a great time to be in the city. So many opportunities. I spent the first part of my career working for banks in some really exciting roles in like data science, analytics, really cool, like nerdy stuff. And then just from there, it's just like just been growing and like focusing more on like, there's always been this for me, this like need to interact with people, like have conversations, like breaking bread with folks. And so that's like I understand the power of the data and all that good stuff, but now I'm like let me make sure I'm outside connecting with incredible people like you.
Right.
And so that's like, just a little bit about my background in the space I'm in right now. I met my wife at UNC Charlotte.
Okay.
And so the city of Charlotte has been amazing to me.
Nice.
We're probably not moving from here anytime soon. And so I'm one of those people that's not from here. Obviously, most people are not from the
Right.
city now. Uh, but the city is definitely like it's in my DNA at this point. I love the city of Charlotte. But yeah, just a little bit about my background. Feel free to let me know if I need to fill in the blanks on anything else.
So you mentioned your parents. Can you tell me what's the best advice you received from your father?
Oh, that's a good one. My father, wow. He was really he was really like someone who would like if I said I had a like an interest in something, he would like go out and just like buy everything. So if I
I
say
love
like,
that.
hey, I could like come home and be like, here's my first stick figure. Like I'm excited about drawing, and then he would go out and spend like an outrageous amount of money on
Wow.
like pencils and markers and all this stuff to support it. And
Okay.
so it's like just embracing like what your interests are. Like that was the biggest thing for me. Um, that my father by himself taught me, and my parents combined, my dad and my mom. It's just like this idea of like marketable skills. Like what can you do that people can see can get value from? Those are probably like the two things. The first thing just being like embracing like your interests and just like digging into finding yourself. And then the second thing my parents combined is like the idea of like what value do you add to people's lives? Those are
I
the
love
two.
that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Amongst other things. So if my parents, I'm pretty sure my mom will be watching this. She'll probably say some other things that should be top of mind. But yeah, those are the two things that come top of mind when I think about my parents.
I love it. So you speak about the values that your parents instilled in you. Like, what would you say? How would those values transition into your business? Like, how do you show up as a business owner?
It's a good question. There's this idea of going back to the marketable skills, like having skills that people, see value in. I am not afraid to ask for what I'm worth. And I haven't had that issue really most of my life, asking people or not demanding, but just stating, like, here's my value. And that's something that I brought in from day one. The conversations I was having with people, I knew specifically for the podcast, I was like, hey, I understand I want to add value for a specific segment, business owners that I'm having conversations with, like expand their platform and awareness. But on the other side of that, when it comes to making money, like I need to be firm in those conversations. And so that's one thing just right off the bat, like I know the skills that I bring to the table and I know what I'm worth.
I love it because people aren't comfortable with asking for the money or
Yeah,
asking
they
for
don't
what
be
they're worth.
comfortable. It's a
They
really
just like take whatever and to really just stand firm and really like willing to walk away, that's
yeah,
huge.
you got to be able to. I know it sounds crazy, like turning
Right.
down money in certain situations, but it's like the price got to be right
Yeah.
for me.
No, I feel you because when you know your worth, nobody can negotiate that.
Fact,
Yeah.
it's true.
So, okay, so being a business owner and working full time, like how do you find your peace and how do you incorporate mental health into your daily life?
Oh, that is a great question. I'll answer the second part first in terms of balance.
Okay.
I don't sign up for a lot of stuff on any given day,
Okay.
so I say no a lot.
That's
I
good.
know, yeah, I know. I know my core responsibilities. The things I'll never be able to say no to is my wife and my daughter, right?
Okay.
And so those always come first. And so with that, I know on any given day, there's only like two or three things I'm gonna be able to do in full totality, like with all my effort. And that's just where I'm at with life, and I've accepted that. And so for me, yeah, that's a big thing. Like just being able to go into the day, hey, here's a list of things I'm gonna do. We always are gonna have more. We're always gonna have 5, 10, 15
Right.
things that are on the list, but it's like I know just with my personality, I'm only gonna get 3 to 5 done, and that's okay.
Right.
Everything else is a no, and it's not like a bad thing to say no. I've embraced saying no. Um, I'm comfortable saying no at this point. And then the first question was, remind me of the first part.
Protecting your peace.
Oh, yeah, that's tough. I do have my hobbies now that I stick to, and so my hobbies now at this point in my life, I like a good cigar
Okay.
and a comfortable chair, and that's it. And so those are the things, like those two things, like I find time throughout the week again, like planning my calendar out. Like I may want to have a cigar once a week. I may want to just be able to sit down in a comfortable chair, watch a game, talk to my family, get on the phone, like catch up with my family members. Like those are the things. Those things are relatively inexpensive for
Right.
me to do. So it's easy for me to really dedicate the time in my schedule. So those two things right there at this point in my life, as long as I can have those in moderation, I'm good, and that protects my peace as much as I possibly can.
I love that. I mean, it's really a daily
That's daily. Yeah, it's daily.
it's a daily thing, you really just have to show up for yourself. And I think, like to your point in this season, you just have to just take a moment and
It is
just,
what it is.
yes.
Mm.
And like you said, just be okay with the word no. I feel like as business owners, we always just take on so much because normally it's probably just you or you have a very small team
Mm-hmm.
and like knowing your capacity. I always tell my business owner friends like you have to know your capacity. You put 10 things on your plate and then you don't show up and then now you blacklisted on whoever's list,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that may
Everybody cannot have 100% of you.
Right.
Is the truth.
So what would you say like will be your favorite podcast recorded?
Oh, that's tough. Um, I always go back to I'm somebody who likes to tell people, like, for the podcast journey, like, it's like starting where you're at and not necessarily having everything together is really powerful to me, because I go back to my first episodes,
Mhm.
like my first one with you.
Right.
I reference that all the time. Like,
Okay.
those are the episodes where for me it was like validation, in a way, like, hey, like, me doing this, it feels good. I feel like I'm adding value. So those first episodes for me, your episode, I reference
Okay.
it in a lot of conversations with people. Last year we had a conversation that I feel like was us leveling up. We interviewed Donovan Everett.
Mm.
He's
Okay.
Everett Construction here in
Yes.
Charlotte, and so he's done some amazing work, Panther Stadium, Hornet Stadium. So we interviewed him in a live setting,
Oh,
and
nice.
so that was when we were like, let's try different things. People are back outside. How do we get in settings like this where we're interviewing in person more versus the virtual? The virtual is still there. We know it's not going away, but there's power in that breaking bread with people in person, face to face.
I
Those
love
are
that.
two episodes. So you
Okay.
in the first episode, and then
Okay.
our episode with Donovan Everett last year, where we had that, we taped with a live audience. We had our full video team out there. It was a full production. It was pretty cool.
I love that. So are you doing that often or?
So I'm trying to do that like once or twice a year at least, to
Okay.
pop out and like it's just hard with people's schedules
Right.
and things like that. The monetary element as well. The in person renting the
Yeah.
venue. My video team, I understand. I got some good support systems there, so that's not the hard part. But it's like just navigating, picking the venue, picking the right time of year. And in our city, in a city like Charlotte, there's always something going on.
Yes.
So it's like on any given day you pick something, you're like, oh shoot, there's a concert, there's a game,
Mhm.
there's something that's pulling people away. So just the logistics of it is a lot, but I'm looking to do that at least once or twice a year. So anybody watching this, sponsorship
Yes.
opportunities, partnership opportunities, I'm definitely looking to have conversation.
Absolutely. I mean, you mentioned that, and that may be an opportunity in itself where you would go to, we have all the championship games downtown,
Mm-hmm.
and to go and do pop-ups, maybe you don't need the full production, but at least get content because
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, I got my book bag here, and so I've got like a DJI mic, and so I've been one of the things I've been doing this year is I've been going different conferences, like the last
okay.
year and a half, and just trying different conferences, different spaces. I went to an anime convention, popped up, like you
Okay.
said, and just was interviewing people. I've been to cigar events, tech conferences, you name it. Like, people are just back outside. And a cheat code for those who are in media, a lot of these conferences, they have media passes,
Nice.
so you get the 10 for free,
Right.
right? And so you're media now,
Yeah.
so I want to make sure that you're able to tap into that.
Yep.
And that at least covers the ticket for attendance, and then sometimes they actually pay for me to come out. So
That's dope. Yeah. So you leveling up. I mean, that's a part of the game.
yeah.
3 seasons in, and so
Hmm.
yeah, that's awesome advice.
Hmm.
So when you speak about self-care, what does that look like for you?
So going back to not signing up for too much right now, just in that's the season of life that I'm in. And so that's definitely important to me. And I think tying it into the business is like, our platform Beyond Normal Media is about storytelling, right? Allowing founders, allowing creators to really tell their story their way, wherever they're at in their journey. And so for me, I ask myself daily, like, what's the story I'm telling? I ask myself that all the time, like, what's the story I'm telling in this moment? Am I being, authentic with it? Am I putting my full effort into it? And those are conversations that are definitely important to have. And when you ask some of those questions and you tell yourself no,
Mm,
it's like, okay, like, what do I need to change? Is it still important to me? Like, do I need to reprioritize? And so that's how I go about thinking about it. Just with the Beyond Normal platform right now, so much focus out in the world on what stories we're telling. Like, just asking myself, like, what story am I telling in this moment? Am I being true to it?
right. I mean, being authentic
Yeah.
and genuine in the spaces that you're in. I mean, people know. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, energy don't lie. So I think that's why it's important too to do podcasting or doing things in person because when you get people from behind that screen,
It's different.
it's different. It's like,
It's
oh, you really
different.
not who you say you are. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's
So
like that in person
yeah,
is is still it's still valuable, and I think people we're at a point now in person engagement where you can engage with people in person and it can be a positive experience. Like it's a premium. Like it adds additional value.
mm,
So your price is X. Now your price is X plus a little bit because you know how to break bread with somebody and just like be human.
yeah,
I mean, we all got the AI. We get it.
right,
It's at our fingertips. We're all using it. But you still got to be able to conversate.
yeah.
At the end of the day, the robots haven't figured conversate for us yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
I love it. So let's switch gears a little bit. You do a lot in the community. Can you just speak a little bit about the philanthropy and your social impact?
So for me, I definitely I feel like it's really my family um background. I want to say that it probably ties back. My grandmother, she was a paralegal. She did like paralegal work, and she was in that. And she was always doing work for folks. Like if somebody in the community was like, "Hey, I have this issue. I'm a landlord, or the city's not doing this and that." Like she was the type of person where she would just go above and beyond for people. So there's a big focus on community, and people need opportunities. Like, and I think that's for me where I'm at in life. I feel like I'm just so blessed, right? I have a
Amen.
wife, I have my daughter, I have multiple businesses, I have a great 9 to 5, I've had a great career. Everybody hasn't had those opportunities that I've had, and so it's like like there's obviously money that I can go after, more money. Obviously, there's more goals that I can obtain, but there's something powerful in allowing somebody else to use your resources. It's like a different sort of like feel goodness, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm just trying to tap into it as much as possible because I'm at a point where I understand, I can do, X%, I can do 100% with something, but somebody coming up who's young and hungry, or just doesn't have to be young, somebody who's just hungry for opportunity, they can make like the same resources, they can like 3, 4, 500% it
Right.
compared to what I can do with it. So that's big for me. And then anytime, as you know, anytime on the corporate side with my 9 to 5, if I see, oh, they're giving away money,
Mhm.
I'm gonna make sure I'm tapping it in and I'm funneling it to others as much as I can. That's really big for me. And that part goes into, you know, there's so many big brands out there and they have so many initiatives and things like that, but it's up to us to really hold them accountable as citizens, but then also as employees.
Right.
Employees got the power to say, like, look, like, what are we doing in the
Mm.
community to affect change? It's uncomfortable at times, but I'm at a point now where I like wearing that hat. So it's okay for me to be at that point and know I should be funneling stuff to the next generation.
No, I love that. And I just appreciate you because you've supported Leslie's Laundry Care Foundation since I started back in
Mm-hmm.
2021. And like whether you donate or show up for us, I just really appreciate it. And I did want to give you your flowers today because, not a lot of people understand the fulfillment that comes
Mm-hmm.
behind helping the community. Like, yeah, you can make money hand over fist, but like, how are you helping someone else that cannot help themselves maybe in this season or
Mm-hmm.
but they're trying. And so no, I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Like, thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, continue to just grow and be great.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Like, yeah, like that's like specifically in a city like Charlotte, there's so
Yeah.
much growth, and so it's like we got to make sure the people who are the foundation of it, who are the people who are from here, like they got a seat at the table. So
Abs-
that's important. And that's not a battle that ends.
yeah.
We know it's
Never ending.
it's constant.
Be down there March.
Yep. You gotta be doing so much to just keep it top of mind for folks coming in so that they know what some of that history is, and there needs to be seats at the table. I'll leave it at that.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna play a quick game,
All right.
and I'm gonna start the sentence, and you're gonna finish it with an honest answer quickly.
Okay.
Okay, so podcasting has taught me blank.
Podcasting has taught me every founder story is valuable.
I love that.
Hmm.
Okay. Success to me means blank.
Success to me is success to me is fulfillment in family first and career second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. My biggest lesson was blank.
Mm, biggest lesson in life. Mm, my biggest lesson in life is people still talk about you when you leave the room.
Mm,
Yeah, that's something that it took me a while to understand, like the magnitude of like the power that I had. Like
okay.
walking into a room and then having that conversation and then it leading to something else. And it's like, how does this work? And it's just like people remember these impressions, they remember these moments, they remember the stories that you're connected to. It
Mm.
took me a while to get to that point.
No, I love that because you do want to leave a lasting impression in every room that you walk in.
You do.
And I always share that with entrepreneurs too because always share what your biggest challenge is when you
Mm-hmm.
are in these rooms because the person sitting right next to you might have your next yes, but you just didn't speak up on what you need at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's been plenty of times I've been in rooms and I'm like, oh, well, so and so might need this and made the connection and bam, the deal
That's
has been
how that's
signed.
how it be happening.
Yes.
That's
So your
how
network, yes.
that's how it happens. And I'll add just real quickly for the
Okay.
media company. Like you said, I was like cold outreaching folks, and
Uh-huh.
then like they would introduce me to like a big thing for founders, CEOs is like raising capital for their business. So that was something initially I was hearing a lot, and then they were like a couple founders were like, "Hey, like I know a couple VCs you can start talking to." So that just opened me up into like, oh, this isn't just like a small podcast. Like this is real, honest conversations that people need to hear,
Mhm.
whether they're a CEO founder
Right.
or they're somebody who's got the check and they're trying to get that money out. Like there's so many sides and players in this space.
Mhm. I mean, is anyone in your network ever reached out about any entrepreneurs? Like, have you ever made any meaningful connections through your network
Oh yeah.
from the podcast?
Oh yeah. So a lot of times my guest, it's actually a lot of times it's guest to guest.
Okay.
So a guest will like pop in and be like, hey, I got this, I'm trying to dig in, make my company SaaS focused. And I saw you were talking to, uh, I'll use an example. I got one friend, Khalil. He was on our platform. He has like a culture based platform.
Hmm.
Then I got another contact, China Morgan. She has a platform that's like user generated content, like an app that does that. And so they've been connecting, like
Nice.
they've been on sessions together in terms of like putting out webinars and things like that, and they've just been brainstorming, and now we have like these Slack channels and all
Hmm.
these different like conversations, and
Wow.
we're brainstorming together. So that's like one example where it's like once it started and we made those connections, like it hasn't stopped, and it
Wow.
probably won't.
Yeah.
I've been to guest houses, I've stayed in their houses, like it's really led to some amazing experiences.
I love that. And those meaningful connections, like you said, will be with you
Forever.
forever.
They're forever. I don't plan on
Yeah.
ending any of those relationships.
So, who would you say supported you early on in the city of Charlotte? Because I feel like that's one of the bigger things. For Charlotte to be so big, it's so small when it comes to our community. So, who would you say like supported you that you want to give a shout out to?
Early on, well, I hate to, we're on your platform, but you being my first episode,
Oh, thank you.
I feel like for me, it was, I just needed like one or two people, such as yourself,
Okay.
to really put the battery in my back. And the reason why is because I always had like a national, global, like mindset for the Beyond Normal platform, and so I've definitely expanded. We've been in, we've interviewed founders in different countries. We've been in other countries to highlight founders as well. And so I didn't necessarily need a whole bunch. I'll say you for sure, and then the bank I was at the time, my fellow coworkers, they were like, "Oh, you should keep doing this."
Okay.
And so that was really all I needed. I didn't really understand the startup ecosystem in Charlotte when I first started this thing. And so I had to learn what the Charlotte system, like what it all entails, the accelerators, the incubators, the funds, what's going on at the universities. And so I didn't really have that. And so it kind of, in a way, shielded me from worrying about getting all that validation at first to just do what I needed to. So honestly, you helped
Okay.
me out big time. And
Dope.
then my coworkers at the bank I was at, it was like, that was all I was needed. That's all. That put enough battery
Yeah.
in my back, and I
All
was
you
like,
gotta do is start.
yeah, like that's all you gotta
Literally.
do is
Yeah.
start.
And it was a good interview. Like we got mad views on
We did.
YouTube.
Oh, we
Yeah.
did.
So
Your episode on the podcast on the pure audio side is still like top 5
wow.
for us.
That's so dope. And that was COVID.
That was
More than
COVID.
5 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing about
Wow.
podcasts too. Like I want people to understand is like people are gonna find you
Mm,
when they find you.
right.
So somebody can find me now on season 8, right? It doesn't matter. They can just go ahead and binge watch all the content.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Every stream counts, folks.
Right.
So hey, when you do find us, listen to everything. Beyond Normal Media is everywhere. Whether you got an Apple device, you got an Android, you got a Samsung, or you're on your computer, on your TV. We're on different networks now as well.
That's
So
dope.
wherever you want to find us, Beyond Normal Media, you can find it. Just
Okay.
there.
Well, speaking of that, what does the next level look like for Beyond Normal Media?
So we're doing a lot of podcast. We're doing more podcast production now,
Okay.
for folks, and so we definitely want to dig in more into that. I'm big on the conferences, going to conferences now,
Okay.
and so I want to kind of be on the curation side, not necessarily be in front of the mic always, but be the one who is like putting together panels for different conferences, different experiences, different activations at conferences. So that's big. Charlotte has a ton of stuff going on, so
Facts.
right in our backyard. So
Yes.
I'm looking to tap into some of that. And then just across the country, like people are really back outside. Like
Yeah.
it's, it's kind of wild that 5 years ago we were all wearing masks.
Yes.
Now nobody is wearing masks at all. And so yeah, like that's what's next for us. We just launched our newest season, season 8, and so we're always looking to level up in terms of the conversations we're having. But yeah, the podcast will remain a core for us.
I love
Yeah,
that.
it'll definitely remain a core.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. Do
Thank
you want to give a shout out on where people can find you and
Yes.
listen and stream, all that good stuff?
Beyond Normal podcast. We're on again, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the streaming platforms. We're on it. We're on YouTube. We're on the Pasadena Media app on your TV as well. And so that's a TV network based out of California. And so we're just like trying different things, putting our content in different places. Any social media platform you can name it, we're on it. I'm not going to give them a shout out because they're not really paying. Um, but yeah, we're there. You can definitely find us Beyond Normal Media everywhere. You'll see my mug and you'll see the pretty faces of our guests. I'll say that.
All right. Anything else you want to tell the audience?
Yeah, just keep telling your story.
Yes.
Your story is definitely super powerful. Like you mentioned earlier, you really don't need that much now. Our phones are already expensive enough, and they have really great cameras on them, 4K in some cases. All you need is your phone and your voice, and you can start putting your story out into the world. Oh, and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn,
Tap into LinkedIn,
please.
please. Please tap into LinkedIn. LinkedIn is going through, it's one of those platforms where B2B platforms in general, business platforms, they're going through like the consumer phase where they're like pushing video and doing
Mm,
all these different things. So you doing this content, this episode here is really can be turned into, you know, 30, 40, 50 pieces of content for folks, as you know, as you're on your content journey. So just start recording and then build your team around that to figure out how you want to, the mediums you want to get your content out into the world. Other than that, thank you for
of
having me on as a podcast
course.
guest. I am used to
Yes.
doing the interviewing, so it is great to be on the other side, and I appreciate you having me the invite. This is dope.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming, just sharing your story. Because a lot of times you got 3 seasons of storytelling. So yeah, sometimes it's just good to just hear how you started and just inspire the next person. That's what this platform is for. And make sure you subscribe to Black Hall of Fame on all platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And yes, bye.
Peace.